How long we live is affected by many factors, some of which are out of our control. However, it can also be influenced by what we eat, how often we exercise and our stress levels, among others. While these factors cannot predict how healthy you will remain later in life, and how long you will actually live, new research has found 3 specific traits that could make you a third more likely to die early. Findings presented at the annual meeting of the European Society of Cardiology revealed that overweight adults with slightly higher blood pressure, cholesterol and blood sugar levels are less likely to live as long as people who don't. They also have a 35% higher risk of heart attacks and strokes, and will experience them on average 2 years earlier than others. Combine these 3 traits, alongside being very overweight, are known as metabolic syndrome, which is thought to affect 1/4 of adults in the UK. If you have 3 or more of the traits, you are considered to have the syndrome. Globally, around 31% of people are affected, with growing rates of obesity the main culprit. Study author Dr. Lena Lundberg explained, many people in their 40s and 50s have a bit of fat around the middle and marginally elevated blood pressure, cholesterol or glucose but feel generally well, are unaware of the risks and do not seek medical advice. This scenario, called metabolic syndrome, is a growing problem in Western populations where people are unknowingly storing up problems for later in life. This is a huge missed opportunity to intervene before heart attacks and strokes that could have been avoided occur. The findings come as previous studies have shown that people with metabolic syndrome are at higher risk of diabetes, heart disease, stroke and premature death. However, this study considered the link between asymptomatic metabolic syndrome in middle age and cardiovascular disease and death up to 30 years later. As part of the research, the team analyzed data on more than 34,000 adults in their 40s and 50s who attended a cardiovascular screening program between 1990 to 1999 in Sweden. This included measurements of height, weight, total cholesterol, blood pressure, blood glucose, and waist and hip circumference. Further to this, participants completed a questionnaire about lifestyle habits, previous medical history and socioeconomic factors such as education. Of the participants, around 5,000 were classified as having metabolic syndrome, while 10,000 people without metabolic syndrome were identified to be used as a control group. Over an average follow-up period of 27 years, 1,317, 26%, participants with metabolic syndrome died compared with 1,904, 19%, without. Therefore, those with metabolic syndrome were 30% more likely to die during follow-up than their peers. The team also found that non-fatal heart attacks or strokes occurred in 1,645, 32%, participants with metabolic syndrome and 2,321, 22%, without. Lundberg added, in our study, middle-aged adults with metabolic syndrome had a heart attack or stroke too. 3 years earlier than those without the collection of unhealthy traits. Blood pressure was the riskiest component, particularly for women in their 40s, highlighting the value of keeping it under control. In a statement, Professor Sir Nilesh Samani, medical director at the British Heart Foundation, warned, even if you feel fine, small increases in your blood pressure, waist measurement, cholesterol and blood sugar can have a substantial impact on your future risk of heart attacks and strokes. The important message is that it is possible to reduce your risk through simple measures. Eating well-balanced meals, regular physical activity, and not smoking can all help to lower your blood pressure and cholesterol and your control weight. If lifestyle changes aren't enough, your GP can also advise on medication that can help to reduce your risk.